How you doing? My name's Dr. Tom Connor and I'm the founder of Jing Foundation. And here we are in Lilydale, Victoria. This is our clinic here. So we have a multi-bed acupuncture clinic with some private rooms of naturopaths and nutritional doctors, live blood analysis, 2 clinic machines and a yoga studio. We also have a kitchen in the clinic. So with our emphasis on food being medicine, a lot of the practice is based on cooking and preparing the best foods possible. I think I'd be a good participant on your show for many reasons. I've been cooking for a very long time, since about 10 years old. Love to cook, and I really enjoy seeing people eat the food and loving it. Also, I can bring the Chinese medical aspect to a lot of the ingredients and explaining combinations and how they relate to health and the body, which I think is a unique perspective. Has a really good show. So we're nearing completion of stage 2 of the Jing Foundation project. So this is going to be the second colonic and toilets and change rooms for the yoga space. So this will be nearing completion by the end of November, mid-December. Then we move on to the Zen meditation garden, which is just outside here. Yeah, I'm just here to show you one of the things that I like to do cooking. And as you can see, we're in a kitchen in the middle of a Chinese medical clinic. It's pretty much the only one of its kind in the country. I I've designed and built this clinic, and the reason is because I love to cook and food is so important to health. So what I think I could bring to the show would be an aspect as being a Chinese medical practitioner, understanding food in the way I do and how food is basically medicine. And this knowledge isn't really well understood, and I think for a lot of shows that are around it hasn't really been explained well. And I think I could bring that to the show. So what we're going to cook here today is we've got broccoli, we've got some mussels, and got our homemade curry paste, Himalayan salt, veggies, spices, oil turned into a paste, and we have this prepared. Have this prepared all the time. All right. Now we're going to put the beef broth in. So the J broth often comes with the fat seal, which just shows the quality. This fat can be used, but just punch a hole through it, push it down. If you don't want the fat in your meal, so for this meal, I'm not actually going to use the fat because we've got the fish is a bit more subtle flavour. Excellent. Give that a stir. Alright, so now we'll turn the oven on. So in here we've got onion, garlic and ginger. So we're going to halve half each. So then give these a stir around, put the temperature up. Alright. want to get the temperature really hot, get them sizzling. So we're just going to brown off the onions, garlic and ginger. So here we have pretty much the secret weapon for cooking. So this is J broth. It's what we make in the clinic. So this is organic vegetable shiitake mushroom. So this broth is for vegetarians and vegans. This is a chi and blood tonic. So, and the taste is sensational. So I'm going to add the veggie broth to one of the mixes, and then I've got the beef broth. So I'm going to add the beef broth to another, which is going to give it a deeper, sort of richer flavour. But also the beef broth, being from beef bone, obviously, organic and biodynamic beef bone, this has a much stronger effect with the collagen for gut healing and for blood building. So this is awesome stuff. And then this is the paste that we make as well. So that's got all the spices and organic vegetables and Himalayan salt. And so we make that up and that cooks and sits for up to 6 months. Alright, so let's turn the oven on and the cooktop. I like to cook in cast iron pots, my favourite. It just holds the flavour better, and so any long-term slow cooking, which is what I love, we've got to cook in these cast iron pots. So I'll get the long handle one out of the way. Get these two in. Alright, so coconut oil. Yeah. Alright, let's let that cook. And now we can talk about. So, start again. So Jing Foundation is a charity, and our charitable aim is to create self-sufficient, sustainable community healthcare clinics around the world. So currently our first project, which has been going for 9 years, is in India, the state of Jharkhand. And so our motto has been to be able to build, design and provide a clinic with accommodation, permaculture garden, renewable energy, so in every way it's self-sufficient and sustainable. And to be able to deliver this to a community that has nothing, and then help in the education of healthcare, food production, power production, water conservation. So once this model that we're developing in India is functional, then we're looking to go to other places. As in Kenya, there's a group in Kenya that would like us to come and help. We're also interested in working in Alice Springs. We've been in negotiations for the last 4 or 5 years with communities over there. So this whole project here, which is based in Lilydale, Melbourne, Victoria, is built to generate an income to be able to provide these sustainable healthcare facilities. So here we have some of the offal from the fish, so livers, kidneys, other organs. So these in Chinese medicine are packed full of the blood building components. So by putting this into the slow cooked meal, this is actually really cheap. So making sure it's wild caught Australian or New Zealand fish. So if it's farmed, you don't want it. If it's from China or Thailand, you don't want it. So it's got to be the best stuff. So make sure you go into a reputable fishmonger and you get the best. So this is the best. So we're chucking this in our slow cooked. And so what this will do, this adds another edge of blood building, blood tonifying to this slow cooked meal, and also a whole heap more flavour. And one of the things a lot of people won't really like offal, so whether it be fish or animal, but when you put it in a slow cooked meal, it dissipates and no one will even know it's there, and they'll actually say it tastes even better. So good idea to go and speak to the fishermen about that. If we just take ginger for example, this is a very significant herb in Chinese medicine. It's called shenjiang. So this is a significant digestive aid, good for spleen tonification, so to help build the blood, help to digest the foods. So this is something that we should use on a regular basis. So here we have cloves. So if you smell cloves, it's got a very strong pungent smell. So the smell is showing its aromatic quality, so it can help move, move what's called food stagnation. It's also anti-parasitic, so having this on a regular basis helps clear parasites. We have star anise, again, everyone knows that the aniseed smell of star anise, again, anti-parasitic, really strong aromatic, and can push the energy and the food stagnation through. You've got bay leaves, so they've got a much more subtle effect, which can help move the chi. When we talk about coriander, so one of the things is the volatile oils in the coriander help open the lungs, so help open the nose. So when we have blocked nose, sort of phlegm or cough, coriander is really good to help clear that. One of the things with cooking, we obviously want to put the coriander and chop it last, because if you chop it now, those volatile oils will escape and it won't have as much healing properties. Again with the spring onion, so we leave the top of the stalk of the spring onion. So again, it has aromatic qualities, good for the lungs, good for clearing colds and flus. Okay, so talking about food as medicine, so just explaining some of these the proper foods that we have. So for example, shiitake mushroom, which is grown in the ways in Victoria. So this mushroom has the ability to invigorate chi and move the blood. We look at cardamom. Cardamom is warming. It can nourish the kidneys. We have a few of the spices in. So just a pinch of clove, not too much. Again, remembering these are all warming, so if it's too strong, too warm, it can have a negative effect, so we can sort of cause headaches, flushed face, move the blood too much. So here we can see a couple of pinches of each one, and that's for one. Do the same again for the other. There we go. Let's chuck them in. So now we have our 2 pots on the cook. Alright, oven's telling us it's at the temperature. So we cook this on the cooktop, bring it to the temperature, add all the ingredients, let it mix in, and then we chuck it into the oven for about 1 hour and 45. And so once it comes through, the fish is basically dissolved, all the veggies are soft, and everything's just become sort of one consistency, which is where we want it. So we can put this on rice, on a mash if we wanted to, but more like rice or quinoa kind of grain. Alright. So let's now add the veggies. Pumpkin, asparagus, capsicum, bit of sweetness, snow peas. I like to fill it to the brim. So we've got parsnips, carrot, zucchini, the whole mix. So you can see it's starting to fill up. And you want the liquid to come a bit closer to the top and pushing it down. And if we need to put a bit more broth in, we will. Here we have it. Perfection. Alright. So we'll let this cook down. As it cooks, this will sort of sink in further as the veggies start to dissolve a little bit. And there we have it. So, last thing that I'll add is the dried shiitakes. These are delicious. So I like to put the dried ones on, and I put them on the top. So just break them up a little bit. Sometimes they're hard to cut with a knife. And so I like to put them on top because if they go in
for too long, they get a bit slimy, so they don't taste as good. But once they've dried out a little bit, they have that full flavour with a little bit of moistness, and you can't get much better. So just even the smaller ones, just break them in half so they soak up a bit of the flavour but still keep a little bit of crispiness. That looks good. There's a few more. Alright, spot on. So now we're going to chuck this on top, just like so, sprinkled on top. Chuck that one back in. Alright, actually I think I might do some more. They're almost like a little bit of garnish. So that's enough for one, that's good there. Righto, we'll do the same again for the other bowl.
Yep, go.
Alright, so now all the ingredients is in and it's all settling in. So now we're going to put it in the oven. Oven's preheated to 160 degrees. So we put both pots in. Now I like to not have the lid on so it can actually get a little bit crispy, so you get some sort of the umami flavour on the top, so it crisps up a little bit, makes it much more interesting. Alright, let's see what it looks like.